Hey everyone, Till here. Today I'm reviewing the UPerfect Ucolor T118, which is a portable 18.4-inch 4K UHD display. First of all, a disclaimer, this is a review unit provided by the company, and in this video I'll just present to you my findings so that you can decide whether this is worth the money. At the time of review, the price of this display is $409 on their website, and I have a $50 off coupon in the video description below to bring the price down to $359. As usual, let me give you the bottom line up front. This is a clean and simple design. Now the colors on the display look slightly off when I first powered on the display, so I had to color calibrate it. Using a color calibrator, I measured color support for 100% sRGB, 80% Adobe RGB, and a maximum brightness of 160 nits around the center and about 30 nits higher around the edges. Now this monitor is actually advertised as a gaming display, but the refresh rate is 60 Hz and response time is 3 to 5 milliseconds according to the company. One key selling point is the 4K UHD resolution, which makes all the visuals look really sharp. This 18.4-inch display is designed to be portable, so to me it's actually not that big, and this is the size compared to my 14-inch MacBook Pro. Now personally for me, I would actually prefer to have a larger display, and I have reviewed this UPerfect UMax22 recently, and this is huge and still portable and cheaper compared to this model. So if you don't mind sacrificing some portability, I would actually recommend you go with the UMax22 because it's actually more satisfying to use due to the larger display. Downsides, as mentioned earlier, the colors on this review unit were slightly off, so if you do not have a color calibrator, you will have to go into the OSD to adjust the RGB, which is going to be quite tedious and not accurate. If you do buy this display, I hope the colors on your unit will look fine. This is not a touch screen. This is actually a matte textured display with anti-glare. It supports HDMI and USB-C video connection. It is possible to power this display with a single USB-C cable from your computer, but you will not achieve maximum brightness, so you will definitely need to attach an additional cable for power. I have been using this display for almost 1 month now, and I did not experience any issues. So this display looks good and it works well. I just wish the brightness could be higher, but it's not a major complaint that I have. Alright, on to the full review. Let's see what's included with the purchase. Besides the display, these are the items in the box. That's the user manual. This is a 33-watt power adapter with USB-C port. The plug may vary depending on your location. 2 USB-C to USB-C video cables. 1 mini HDMI to full-size HDMI cable. And lastly, 4 screws for the VESA mount behind. There is no Allen key included. Let's look at the design. So this is a clean and simple design. This is 18.4 inches. Bezels are thin at the top, thicker by the sides, slightly thicker at the bottom. And this is plastic, if I'm not wrong. And this is matte textured, and the display is also matte textured. And that's the anti-glare, and that's my window. The back is matte textured and it's quite susceptible to fingerprints. I'm actually not sure whether this is plastic or metal, but it's solid enough, so it could be metal. And the build quality overall is, I would say, solid enough. And this is the 7.5 centimeter by 7.5 centimeter VESA mount. So this is the kickstand that you can fold and adjust to different angles. The hinge here is quite tight, so you need to apply some force to push down or push out the leg. So you can push it like this, and this will get the display into a more upright position. But as you can see, this is actually sitting on the table, so it's quite low on the table. You can actually get one of those tablet stands and just put the display on top like this. Or you can buy one of those VESA mount stands from UPerfect and screw the display onto the stand. So this is how it looks, and I think it's stable enough and it elevates the display to a more ergonomic height. On the left side, there are two USB-C video ports, and these two are interchangeable, and that's the mini HDMI port. And on the other side here, you get the buttons for the OSD, and that's the 3.5mm audio jack, and there is a micro USB port here. I forgot to mention this earlier, but there is no flip case or sleeve included for this display. So if you need to bring this around, you can actually buy one of those sleeves or case for 18-inch laptops. Let me just measure this display. This is 17 inches or 43 centimeters by 25 centimeters, 10 inches. And the weight is 1.53 kg, so it's actually kind of heavy for this display, but still portable enough. Let's talk about connection. So this display supports USB-C video or HDMI video connection, and right now it's connected to my Mac using USB-C to USB-C, and this is a single cable connection, and you can see it's not able to achieve maximum brightness. So regardless of whether you use USB-C or HDMI, you will have to connect the display to additional power in order to achieve maximum brightness. So now you can see the display is starting to light up. If you power the display using your laptop, it's going to drain the laptop battery very quickly. To prevent the laptop battery from draining so fast, you can connect the laptop to external power, or you can connect the display to external power, which you should do so to get maximum brightness. And this display has power passed through, so now it's connected to external power, and the power is passed through to the laptop to charge the laptop. I have connected this display to a 100-watt GAN charger, and the power pass through is about 24 watts. If you view the display from the side, you can see one side of the display will be darker or dimmer, and you can see hint of IPS glow. Yeah, you can see the colors and contrast are affected very slightly, but the drop in brightness is, I would say, more obvious. Anyway, when you're looking at the display up front, you get the best visual quality. Anti-glare is not that aggressive in the sense that you can still see what's on the display through the diffused reflection. And these are the color calibration measurements that I measured. 100% sRGB, 78% NTSC, 80% OWRGB, and 90% P3. After color calibration, the colors look good to me. However, if you are a visual content creator who requires even better color accuracy, I would recommend you go with the UMax22 display if you do not mind a larger size, because that display has better color accuracy, 88% OWRGB, and 276 nits of brightness from what I have measured. 4K UHD resolution is really sharp. This display is marketed as a gaming display. There is FreeSync, response time is 3 to 5 milliseconds, and if your computer can actually play game at 4K UHD resolution, then you can expect really sharp visuals. I guess the main limitation here with gaming is the refresh rate is limited to 60 Hz. If you are not playing games at 4K UHD resolution, you can actually save some money by buying a display with just 1440p resolution. And the visuals will still look sharp enough, although not as sharp compared to 4K, obviously. Alright, the last thing I want to say is, even though I measured higher brightness around the edges earlier, from what my eyes can see, the lighting looks even enough because the brightness difference is just 30 nits. It's not that significant. And I do not see any unusual glow at the edges. So this is my review of the UPerfect Ucolor T118. If you guys are interested to buy this, you can check out the affiliate links that I have for you in the video description below. And do check out my review for the UMax22 display as well, which I actually prefer over this because that display is larger.